There are some pretty easy ways for minors to get alcohol. Minors should wait until they're 21 to consume alcohol. Alcohol has some really bad effects on the body and can lead to drunk driving, alcohol poisoning, and violent behavior. Alcohol is a depressant. It causes difficult walking, blurred vision, slurred speech, slow reaction times, and impaired memory. Some of these impairments are detectable after only 1 or 2 drinks and quickly resolve when drinking stops. On the other hand, a person who drinks heavily over a long period of time may have brain defects that persist well after he or she stops drinking and starts hitting sobriety. Exactly how alcohol affects the brain and the likelihood of reversing the impact of heavy drinking on the brain remain hot topics in alcohol research today. So if someone who has had a few drinks jumps behind the wheel with some of these symptoms like blurred vision and slow reaction times, what could happen? On average, according to Matt Nagin, a psychologist, 17,000 people have died each year because of drunk driving. The drunk driving rates for 2010 were 15.1% for people in the ages of 18 to 20, 23.4% for people in the ages between 21 and 25, and from 26 plus, the percent decreases. In 2011, the rate of alcohol-impaired driving fatalities per 100,000 population was 3.2, representing a 65% decrease since 1982, when record-keeping began, and 49% since the inception of the Century Council in 1991. What this translates into is, for every 100,000 people in the U.S., slightly more than 3 people were killed in a drunk driving crash, a rate that has been cut almost in half over the past 2 decades, from a rate in 6.3 in 1991. According to the Center for Science and the Public Interest, 44% of students going to a 4-year college drink at or above the binge level. 30,000 students each year need medical attention due to alcohol-related sickness. Fox News reports that 107 college-age students drank themselves to death in the years 1999 and 2005. What happens to the body when someone gets alcohol poisoning? Alcohol poisoning is a serious and sometimes deadly consequence of drinking large amounts of alcohol in a short period of time. Drinking too much too quickly can affect your breathing, heart rate, body temperature, and gag reflex, and potentially lead to coma and death. Some of the signs of alcohol poisoning are confusion, the person's body temperature drops and they become very cold, pale skin, and sometimes they can take on a bluish tinge. The person is conscious but is unresponsive, and then the person passes out. Alcohol poisoning occurs when there is so much alcohol in the bloodstream that areas of the brain controlling basic life support functions such as breathing, heart rate, and temperature control begin to shut down. There are about 50,000 cases of alcohol poisoning in the United States each year. According to Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, alcohol is associated with an increased risk of hazardous sexual behavior, academic failure, drug abuse, and alterations to the structure of the function of the brain. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism figured out that up to 86% of homicide offenders, 37% of assault offenders, and 60% of sexual offenders were using alcohol at the time of the crime. Alcohol reduces people's ability to think straight, says Professor McCurran, a psychologist at the University of Nottingham. It narrows people's focus of attention and gives people tunnel vision. If someone provokes someone else while they are drunk, they don't take other factors into account, such as consequences of rising to the. This can lead to violent reactions from people who would usually just shrug things off. So as you can see, alcohol has a big effect on the way someone acts. All minors should stay away from alcohol until they are 21.